I'm here to relieve everyone in Toronto. Apparently that's not going to be a problem because, yep, there are the SUVs pulling into the hotel, right, where the fans were waiting, and then the real wait settled in. Fans from Southern California to Canada to, yes, Wimbledon, the talk of little else. Yep, American Coco Gauff won her second-round match today. She was talking about how even though she's a teenager, she works hard to carry herself like a pro. It led to one of the reporters saying, "Do you mean like Kawhi Leonard?" To which she said, "Well, I think I talk a little bit more than he does." She goes, "But I can't wait to see where he's going. She's at Wimbledon." Well, maybe Coco needs to watch ESPN because Jalen Rose went on TV just a couple hours ago and said this.
What I'm 99% hearing is that Kawhi Leonard will be returning to Toronto and signing a 2-year contract. Just completed his 8th season. That's going to put him at 10 years. That puts him in position to get the largest available maximum deal for a player of his tenure.
Is Jalen right? Or is the situation still fluid? Was someone else entirely in those SUVs and we're all part of an elaborate hoax? Well, who knows? If that indeed was Kawhi today, Perk, bail me out here. Does this mean something? Do we think we know something? Jalen certainly thinks he knows.
I got to agree with Jalen. I mean, I didn't know if that was Kawhi or Bum. I mean,
I think the former president would have a bigger private plane to land in.
Well, he's something close.
But definitely this train of SUVs could be former President Obama. There's no question.
This is my take on it. I just don't see him traveling 6 hours on a plane to go and tell Toronto that he's not coming back. That could have been done over a phone call. I think this speaks volumes. Hats off to Masai Ujiri because obviously he convinced Kawhi to even get on the plane to come to Toronto. Why not come to LA? I'm right there with Jalen, and I said this during the finals. When I was working the finals, I said it's going to be hard for Kawhi to leave Toronto. I mean, not only you talking about a city, but you talking about a whole country. And when I went there and I seen the way that fan base was and how electrifying it was, I told you I never seen nothing like it ever in my life. And I done been to 6 finals, and I never seen nothing like that in my life. So I kind of got to roll with Jalen right now. I hope it's not going to be a cold take, but hey.
Molly, what do you think about the fact that you traveled there to meet? I mean, obviously, it was more than just to say, hey, I'm staying. They were obviously having some sort of meetings at a hotel.
Yeah, I'd say all indications now look like he's going to go to Toronto and defend their title, right? He knows what he has there. He likes the returning lineup. He loves the way he was treated physically, right? He was able to do his load management and take care of his body. And he has confidence there and trust, which is important to Kawhi. And I agree with Perk. I'm not quite sure he takes that trip all the way back to Toronto to take a meeting and say no.
Yeah, I don't get to think things.
Right.
I don't get to guess.
Right. See, they get to say whatever they want. Jalen Rose
I gave you my
gets
percentages
to say
yesterday.
whatever he wants, right? Former players get to go on TV and be like, I think he's going here. Ramona has to be a reporter.
Right, and I think that's what's been really incredible about this entire process is that every day that this has gone on, those of us who work the phones, who text people, who call people, have gotten a lot of emojis with the zipper across, and you get sorry I can't talk, sorry we can't help, and I think it's been really incredible from a reporting in modern day journalism to be able to get so little information from the teams, from Kawhi's camp. You get drips and drabs. You get people on the fringes who hear things. You get a little here, a little there, and then you try to verify it, and there's no way to verify it. So every night I hear a hot little rumor, 2 or 3 of those, and you try to trace them down, and you can't even chase these rumors down. And so I can tell you what it looks like, is that he got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get on a plane.
Right.
And I don't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning unless there's a really good reason to do that.
There better be a big bag of money.
Right. So if you're going to get up and do that, now I can, from my experience in covering free agency, this makes me remember the Dwight Howard free agency.
Yes.
Where Dwight Howard has meetings in LA. He met at his agent's office and they met with the Hawks and the Lakers and the Rockets and a couple other teams. And then he decided to go to Aspen and take a couple of days to think about it. And he sat up. I don't know if it was at a cabin or whatever it was, but he was sitting. He was in Aspen, like thinking about it, and he decided to go to the Rockets. But before he told everyone he was going to the Rockets, he got on a plane and he wanted to speak to Mitch Kupchak, who was then the general manager of the Lakers, and tell him in person. And so while he was on the plane, Sam Amick, who was then at USA Today, broke that he was going to Houston. Except the Lakers had not been told they were out. And except Dwight was on a plane.
To Los Angeles.
To Los Angeles. And it was hard for anybody else to verify this. Because generally speaking, once somebody breaks it,
Right.
you're able to verify it very quickly. There was like 2 or 3 hours that went by where no one could verify this. And I think his agent at the time, Dan Fagan, even came out with a statement saying nothing's been decided.
Right.
Dwight was literally flying to Los Angeles to tell Mitch Kupchak
In
in person. So I've seen a lot free agency. I've seen DeAndre Jordan with the sit-in.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, there's been a lot that's
think
happened
of it as
here.
a kidnapping, but sure, sit in.
Yes.
You could do that. And look, we've talked about it all day. LeBron James, when he was coming off 4 years with the Miami Heat, flew from Las Vegas to Miami
With Dwayne Wade.
with Dwayne Wade, only to say he was in fact going back to Cleveland. So we have seen all of that.
Yes, we have, but this is the difference. Kawhi is a different type of dude, and also Kawhi is just coming off of winning a championship. It is, I heard the rumors. Okay, the Lakers are the team that like a couple of days ago, they was clear cut the favorite to get Kawhi. Kawhi was not meeting with anybody, and then I get a call that says Kawhi is meeting right now with Doc Rivers on the ocean somewhere, and he was. So, and he was meeting with Doc Rivers and Ballmer and Jerry West and Lawrence Frank. So, this is my thing. In my order, I have it. I have Toronto 1. I have the Lakers 2. Doc, don't be mad at me. I got the Clippers 3. The reason I got Toronto 1 is because, for one, you bring back this same team with Kawhi, they're the clear-cut favorites to come out of the East, in my opinion, with the same team. 2, you go to the Lakers, is it going to be Kawhi team? Is it going to be LeBron team? Is it going to be AD team? Now, Brian Windhorst put me on something that I realized. Brian always say he's ready to pass the torch at the beginning of the season. But then when January comes around, he's ready to say, nah, I'm ready to. What you took me out for, I was going for 40.
Right.
Okay, this is why I put the Clippers at number 3. Because of the talks that Kawhi and KD had before KD decided to go to Brooklyn. They were both talking about maybe teaming up and going to the Clippers. And now, the Clippers cannot get us another star. What other star is there out
Well,
there?
you could trade for one.
Right. So they
For
couldn't,
who, though?
they couldn't sign one, right? Because once
Right.
Jimmy Butler committed with Miami, they started using
Yeah.
some of that money for that second slot. But Ramona brings up a good point. And look, we don't know, and we don't know what changed in that meeting with the Clippers, and maybe Kawhi is done, and he's made a decision, and he's in Toronto, and he's never leaving the country. Maybe
Take his
that's what's
passport.
I mean,
happening.
customs.
Customs, exactly.
That line is
However,
long.
also, just as we sit here, because we don't know yet, and we've seen guys fly one place and then commit somewhere else, what could the Clippers do if they were trying to get a second star with him?
The Clippers, there's a lot of players out there right now that you can look at and say, okay, they have assets to go get them. I don't think they want to part with their young point guard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't think they want to part with all those first-round picks that they've accumulated, or Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams. They have some attractive assets that they could use in trades to trade for another star. If they believe that is what would seal the deal with Kawhi Leonard, you could go make a play for Kevin Love. Okay, you can make a play for Bradley Beal. You could make a play for any. There's a lot of other players that might be available that you could go and try to get if you think that gets you Kawhi. But you'd have to know that would get you Kawhi.
Right.
And what do we know at this point?
We know nothing.
They know whatever.
Ramona's phone keeps going. Exactly. So what did I say at the beginning of the show? 2,762 times. You can make that 63 times. The Raptors, by the way, speaking of odds, Perk, began today. They began today, people, as 10-1 favorites to win the title, according to Caesars Sportsbook. Well, guess what? After that plane footage surfaced, Caesars received a huge bet on the Raptors, and that's what makes odds shift. The odds have shifted to 7-1 to have them repeat. What do you make of that development?
I think the flight had a lot of influence on Vegas today, right? That footage. And I just think, look, Kawhi, he's looking at, to me, the Clippers is a very similar situation to Toronto. Right? Teams, a lot of great role players can come in and probably take them to the next level. Toronto, he knows what he has there. He's comfortable. The Laker thing, look, that would be a super team. They would probably skyrocket to the favorites to win the title. He doesn't know those other pieces that will come in.
Right.
So with this flight going to Toronto, I think the trust factor is a huge thing with Kawhi. The way he can dictate when he needs time off for his body. He obviously has trust in the medical team there to take care of him. So I don't have to make a decision, but I'd say it's Toronto.
Right, and the thing is, and I agree with you, Coach, is that you're right. The Clippers and Toronto are very similar, but the only difference is the Clippers are in the West.
Yeah, of course.
So that makes a huge difference because right now in the West, teams are getting better. Like if the NBA regular season started today, the Utah Jazz would be my pick coming out of the.
Certainly one of them. Until we know what the rest of the Lakers team is.
Right, absolutely.
Right? Even if it's not Kawhi, we have to know what it is.
One thing
Where do you think the Raptors sit in the East, though? Where do you think if Kawhi comes back, do you guys say, hey, they're the presumptive favorites because they're the defending champs, and you just automatically have to do that, or do you think the improvements Philadelphia has made or some of the other teams have done, Milwaukee?
I think they clear cut favorites. I think Milwaukee took a step back by losing Malcolm Brogdon. I'm still interested to see how this Philly team go mesh together. I mean, I think, losing Jimmy Butler and J.J. Redick, the health of Joel Embiid, we don't know what Josh Richardson go bring to the table. So right now, you're bringing back the most improved player in Siakam. You're bringing back Gasol, All-Star and Larry, Serge Ibaka, who I call a wild African. And you got a nice core of guys. And remember, OG was hurt last year. Yeah. So you add him with little light-skinned Van Fleet with the good beard. They doing their thing.
Molly, can you give as colorful a breakdown where you see the Raptors?
Well, actually, I think the West is more wide open, obviously, because of the Warriors. The Warriors were the dominant team, so I think the West is more wide open. I think the competition is obviously going to be Milwaukee and Philadelphia. Milwaukee losing Brogdon is going to hurt them. I think there's going to be improvement with Giannis is going to get better. Chris Middleton's going to have to step up more. So they got the talent to be as good or a better team. And then Philadelphia, I think, is key. I think getting Tobias back, right? And then Al Horford, I think, was a key acquisition for them. And then look, Jimmy Butler was their closer. Obviously, they're saying now, Joel Embiid, it's your time to step up. Late fourth quarter, you're a good free throw shooter. We leave you in the game, put you in a post. Either score the bucket, draw a foul, get to the free throw line, and win games for us.
And Ben Simmons got to work on his jump shot. That's all you should do. Don't lift weights. Don't do nothing else.
What does that say?
Don't eat Ben Simmons. Don't drink anything. No water, bread, nothing.
Come on, Rich Paul.
Coming up after this break, we'll take a little short break from the Twilight Zone to talk about how Kyrie and KD, how they ended up with the Brooklyn Nets. We haven't seen Perk since KD went to Brooklyn, so we got to do a little breakdown with our guy here. First, though, it's a distant replay. It's this date in 2017. Former number one pick, Markelle Fultz.
Whoa.
Such promise.
There's a little thinner. The pace they're playing.
Oh, my. Allen went to the rack, and Fultz was there to meet him.
The Summer League?
I really like that kid.
Right?
Two-way player.
I thought it wasn't until August.